Welcome, Jeffrey.
Thank you, John. Well, the speeches so far have been something to follow. And does anybody know what the glycemic index is? Have they heard of it? Yeah. Raise your hand if you heard it. Do you know what it is? Well, the glycemic index changed my life. The glycemic index is an index for carbohydrate-type foods, and it's a number that's assigned, or an index number that's assigned to a food that will tell you what the blood level of the carbohydrate of the food when it's converted to sugar that the body uses. So, the glycemic index for foods, it could be a low glycemic index or a high, or they're all rated. So that, for example, in the first hour, now this may sound boring, but does it sound boring? No. If you take a bowl of cherries and you take watermelon, can everybody see this? And both quantities of the food have 10 grams of sugar. You had an analyzer, let's say. The glycemic index of cherries is 33. And the glycemic index of watermelon is 100. So if you eat the bowl of cherries, you'll get 10 grams of sugar in your digestive tract. Because the glycemic index is 33, that means that in 1 hour, only a third of the 10 grams of sugar will be converted into sugar into your bloodstream. So the second hour, another third. And the third hour, another third. But the watermelon, which has a high glycemic index of 100, in the first hour, all 10 grams of the sugar go into your bloodstream to be used. Now, if your body only needs 5 grams of sugar per hour to move around, the first hour, if you eat the watermelon, all 10 grams goes into your bloodstream. 5 of it gets used for energy, and where's the other 5 go? Into fat. Whereas the cherries, the same 10 grams. 3.3 goes used in the first hour. The body's looking for the other 1.7 grams. And where does it look? It pulls it out of the fat. Now, how did I learn all this? You remember I spoke about the Thanksgiving dip time when my mother came visit from Florida for Thanksgiving, and she looked at me and she said, "You're fat." She told me that right at the table. And she took out the South Beach diet book. Do you remember I told that in a speech before I came to it over? I even told my mother that this is weekend, actually, because I rehearsed this with her. Anyway. And at the time, I was 186 pounds. Look at this. 186 pounds, folks. This is because of the glycemic index. See that? Now.
Very prosperous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Looking very prosperous there, Jeffrey.
We didn't see over here.
No.
Look at that pot belly right there. 186 pounds.
Goodness.
Now this is the one you should look at. Oh, you want to see?
It's huge.
That's me 2 years ago, 186 pounds. I would think of nothing of going to a hot dog safari at Suffolk Downs with my sons and eating all the hot dogs I could eat and have Chinese food for lunch. Well, this is me Sunday after I ran 12 miles with a group. And you want to see that picture too? I was 160 pounds. I lost 26 pounds. Now, when I rehearsed this with my mother this weekend, she said, did you see Time magazine this week? This week's Time magazine said, the myth about exercise, why exercise won't make you thin. And then she opened up you saw that?
I read that article, yeah.
And it showed you a picture of a muffin, and it says, hold on, I photographed and put it in here. it says that a woman who's 154 pounds, I don't know how old she is, but anyway, if she ate this muffin, she would have to fold laundry for 230 hours, vacuum for 92 minutes, or no, 230 minutes, sorry, run the treadmill for 33 minutes, garden for 66 minutes, mow the lawn for 66, to burn off that muffin. Now, back to the glycemic index. So the muffin has the sugar that goes right in your bloodstream. When I would have breakfast, before I would have cereal and I would have a muffin. But now you know what I eat?
Bowl of cherries.
That's for lunch. So now I take like vegetables, onions, green peppers, and Canadian bacon, chop it up, put it in olive oil, put a little cayenne pepper in there, and then have a bowl of vegetables with eggs or egg beaters. Or I'll have tuna fish for breakfast. Or I'll have oatmeal, which has a low glycemic index, and it'll take me all morning for that sugar to go into, instead of the muffin. For lunch, salad with walnuts, with everything but carbohydrates. Now, if you have the carbohydrates, and any carbohydrates I would have, takes a long time to get into the bloodstream. If you have juices and liquids, I was drinking orange juice for breakfast. I'd have juice. You had all of the sugar I was just drinking every day instead of water was all the energy I needed, let alone eating foods that the sugar goes right into your bloodstream. So the glycemic index is a measure. When I eat these vegetables, I know that my body is going to take all morning for the carbohydrates in this breakfast to get into my bloodstream, instead of eating the muffin that's in there as soon as I get to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for that presentation.
Thank you.
I can see you put a lot of time and effort into it. Thank you.